Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence covers two main areas. The first is personal competence, which is really about recognizing and managing our own feelings. The second is social competence, which is about empathy, people management, and positive influence in organizational development. Why should we talk about EQ? Well, teaching is really a work of heart. We are in an emotional job. Secondly, EQ is said to be 4 times a better predictor for success than IQ. And thirdly, there was an online article by Stacy Tornio in which she reports on teacher emotions. She reports that teachers can feel up to 16 different emotions every single day before noon. 16? That's a lot. I draw from these 16 emotions, opening up areas for self-reflection, self-awareness, which are very important for self-management. The first emotion I chose is gratitude, which is a feeling of happiness that comes from appreciation. Let us reflect. What are you grateful for? Perhaps you are grateful for working with children, the greatest resource of the future, or you appreciate working with colleagues who want to learn and grow, or your job satisfaction is derived from a higher purpose, that you are contributing to a democratic and thriving country. We spend so much of time at work. Work gratitude feelings are important. It makes you happier, healthier, have better collegiality with staff, and makes you more productive. The second emotion I chose is hopeful, defined as a feeling of expectation and desire for a particular thing to happen. Synonyms: optimism, aspiration, possibilities. Goals, aims, and plans represent the hopes of an organization. Bell Hooks says, education is a vocation rooted in hopefulness. As teachers, we really must believe that learning is possible and that nothing can keep an open mind from seeking after knowledge and finding a way to know. Well, what are you hopeful for? David Schwartz reminds us, though, that hope is a good start, but that hope needs actions to win victories. When hopelessness is expressed as, why do I even bother? It exacerbates the problems in education further. Let us always be hopeful and back it up with positive action. Let's move on now to success, a feeling or expression of jubilation after a victory or achievement. It is so important that teachers, learners, and parents have an opportunity where they are told, you have done a great job, or they can pat themselves on the back with feelings of, I did it. When do you feel successful and triumphant at work? Perhaps the experiment that you conducted worked without a glitch, or you met the academic targets, or the sport team you coached won the league. Feelings of success are very important because success does indeed breed success, mainly because it enhances self-confidence and self-esteem and builds the self-efficacy of teachers. Self-efficacy is that feeling that teachers have that I can do this, I am capable, I got this. When you feel relief, you may express it as, I feel reassured, I am no longer stressed or anxious. I feel a burden or worry has been lifted from my shoulders. I have peace of mind and tranquility. How often do you feel a sense of relief at work? Perhaps you had organized extra lessons for your learners and they are now starting to show progress. Or a conflict situation has been resolved and everybody has greater clarity on how to proceed further. When you feel relieved, it is always after a bit of uncertainty or a bit of anxiety. So the state of relief is like a state of emotional stability. It is when our attitudes, beliefs, thoughts, behavior, and results correspond. We are now comfortable. It is very important for teachers to have this feeling in their classroom in order to enable learner emotional wellness to set the right foundation for academic success. Another one of the 16 emotions is surprised, used when something unexpected happens. The workplace offers many opportunities for feelings of surprise. When are you pleasantly surprised? Or when are you just shocked? Perhaps a pleasant surprise is when you get a work compliment or you are downright shocked at your colleague's rude and aggressive behavior. As a school leader, I often hear teachers express their shock at poor results. I will address this under curriculum management. Let us now enter the arena of more distressing emotions. We start with nervousness, described as a feeling of agitation and being alarmed. It can range from being highly strung to hysterical. How often do you experience nervousness at work? An unexpected class visit, a parent complaint, or a moderation of assessment could be reasons for your feelings of nervousness. It is very important to shield these feelings of nervousness or any distressed emotion from our learners and find external avenues for venting and healing. The workplace does indeed provide many opportunities of feeling unimpressed. This is a feeling of no admiration, no interest, or no respect. In what area and with whom do you feel unimpressed? Perhaps it is in the classroom and homework is still not done, or there are frequent intercom announcements. While I know from personal experience how frustrating this is, I would recommend you do not roll your eyes at any administrative matter in front of the children, because the next thing that will happen is they will roll it right back at you. You can scratch your head if you feel perplexed at work. This is a feeling of bafflement, confusion, and being puzzled. What confuses you at work? Confusion comes about when there are curriculum changes. You may be baffled by adult behavior when tantrums are thrown in front of children. As a school manager, you may be puzzled that more resources into the education system does not produce higher educational outcomes. When there is confusion and doubt, please do stick it out. Persevere. Would you disclose your feelings of jealousy? Envy is a feeling of resentful longing aroused by someone else's position or possessions. What is your source of jealousy at work? In my experience, teachers have expressed jealousy when another teacher has had a better staff room seat, bigger parking space, or a specific classroom. Professional jealousy has been expressed in terms of other teachers' results and relationships. Are you jealous? Don't compare yourself to others. Focus on your own strengths and try to improve yourself. Irritability, a feeling of agitation. You're easily annoyed and you could be testy, touchy, and intolerant. What irritates you at work? Perhaps it's the photocopying machine not working, or the poor timing of more intercom announcements, a sudden meeting in your break time, and high staff absenteeism. If not controlled, the journey from irritability to anger is very short. When you are burning up with rage, remember, anger is one letter short of danger. Please practice the pause. Be patient. Pray if that's what you do. Acting on anger is ill-advised. We move now to trepidation, a feeling of fear or anxiety about something that may happen, a sense of impending doom. What has caused you fear, apprehension, and dread at work? Perhaps your behavior in class was very unprofessional, and now consequent management processes will ensue. It may be that you are under investigation for financial mismanagement and you are in a state of panic. These are indeed difficult situations. Let us be guided by this quote by David Roppo. Floundering in a pool of hesitation and trepidation constitutes stagnation. You can't rise from the ashes if you refuse to walk through the fire. If you find yourself in this position, find the courage to deal with it to ensure the best possible outcome. A feeling of being overwhelmed takes us out of the red of rage into the depths of blue. It is a feeling of being buried or drowned. Teachers express that they feel swamped and inundated with work. Is this you right now? How often do you feel like this? In my experience, it often happens when there was perhaps poor time management and several deadlines loom at once. Or perhaps there are many changes that happen simultaneously and the teacher just can't cope. Often there are stresses on multiple fronts, including home as well as work. Once again, if not well well managed, and if no solution is in sight, there is a short transition from being overwhelmed to burnout. This is a feeling of extreme exhaustion. Teaching is generally a very physically and emotionally tiring job. There are moments where you are going to feel weary and worn out. However, it's important to reflect when you feel this way. If it's at the beginning of the day already, this is some cause for concern. An important consideration is how debilitating your feelings are and whether or not it renders you unproductive. Let's go to this quote. If you feel burnout setting in, if you feel demoralized and exhausted, it is best to withdraw and restore. That comes from the Dalai Lama. And Annie Lamott also gives us courage to note that almost everything will work if you unplug it for a while. And that includes you. I wanted to end on a positive note. Blissful is a feeling of perfect or extreme joy, happiness, and contentment. I'm not sure I've ever heard it used at work. I have heard it used in yoga and meditation. I am going to link bliss to teacher emotional well-being and teacher job satisfaction. However, I am curious, what are your moments of pure bliss at work? Let us look now at the building blocks of teacher wellness. Firstly, it is important that teachers experience more positive emotion in a day in order to boost their resilience. Their engagement on a daily basis with colleagues should develop their strengths and enhance that which they are good at. Their relationships should be authentic, energizing, and collaborative. They must find meaning in their job and see the higher purpose of growing the new generation. They must experience a sense of accomplishment on a daily basis so that they build their self-efficacy. Teachers should be encouraged to maintain their health physically, socially, emotionally, and mentally. The 5 building blocks of teacher job satisfaction depicted in this picture is that there must be an element of mentally challenging work, otherwise boredom sets in. There must be equitable rewards in the workplace and supportive working conditions, which will obviously be created for the most part by supportive colleagues. It is essential that there be a fit, personality-wise, to the job description at hand, but also to the culture of the organization. For me, this employee wellness as well as teacher job satisfaction would give us the bliss that we desire. The flip side, of course, is job dissatisfaction. I draw your attention to 4 words. An exit to teaching due to job dissatisfaction is considered to be an active and destructive step, whereas negligent is still destructive but passive. The person remains on the job but is largely non-compliant and acts in a retired manner. Loyalty is considered to be more constructive because we enter into an arena where the educator recognizes the elements of job dissatisfaction prevails. However, they are prepared to be patient until it improves, as well as to work hard towards contributing the improvement they desire. Voice is the best case scenario here. It is active and constructive, and thus it is advised that teachers have multiple platforms and avenues within which they can express all the things that they believe is taking away from their wellness and contributing to their job dissatisfaction. I thank you for the opportunity of going through these 16 emotions with you. Thank you so much for watching. I am sure you can list 16 more emotions. Please do so, as well as I would encourage you to respond to all the questions I pose along the way. Emotional Intelligence Part 2 will follow soon, and we will be doing B words. I send you tons of love and well wishes for your staff room, your classrooms, your educational offices, and anywhere and everywhere in which you positively impact education in our country.